Okay, welcome out everybody. Today we are going to talk about, for our wellness topic, we're going to talk about actually doTERRA convention and all the amazing new products that have come out and a few announcements yeah.
Okay.
So if you can follow, we have some resources there at jadebaldwin.com/events. You scroll down to the corporate events. Those are going to help you. Yeah. All the links and stuff will be there anyways.
Okay. So did you share that page? Yeah, is everybody?
Can everybody see that?
Seeing that? Okay, this is fantastic, you guys. Why don't we just go through the oils? And I need help. Everybody that went to convention, I need you to help share.
So this is the convention kit. You can see a little picture of it there.
Yeah, share your knowledge.
You can only get these kits at the convention, but there is a way to get a kit similar to this if you attend the post-convention tours, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Okie dokie. Okay, so the very
Blue tansy.
Yeah, very first thing is let's go for blue tansy.
Blue tansy. It's very blue.
It's very blue. It looks like ink. Can somebody share what blue tansy can do?
Antihistamine.
Yep. What else?
Trying to get my notes.
Have a look at your notes.
I did share my notes here so you guys can see, you know, I didn't take great notes, but at least there's something for you to look at.
So blue tansy is found in the deep blue oil, so it helps with inflammation. Okay. Emotionally, blue tansy is the inspired action. So for those of us who we don't, procrastinators, that blue tansy will help get you going. Okay, that's blue tansy. All right. So, Stacy or Marissa or Debbie, anything else you want to share about blue tansy?
Dr. Phil said it was a bunch of stuff like soothing, skin support, antioxidant, immunity. It like covered a whole lot of things.
Yeah. Skin, it's calming.
Mm-hmm.
Overactive skin and ease of discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
It says it helps control moods and emotions critical to your health and your body.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And it colors your skin
away
blue.
pretty quick. Yeah, like I'm super pale, but it it like faded in within 10
Oh yeah,
minutes.
it's blue, but then it fades after a while. So don't worry, you're not going to turn into a Smurf.
I found it smelled a lot better when it was layered with several other oils.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the smell of it, but a lot of the other people I was with didn't like just the smell of it. And I think even my husband, Tom, was not a big fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I layered it with a couple of other different oils, then it became very appealing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think if you diffuse it, it'll be better because when you smell it out the bottle, it smells different than you smell it on your skin.
Yeah.
So, like she said, either with other oils or diffusing it, it's going to be cheery and light, but it just smells different on your skin. So
Awesome. Okay, copaiba. Smells like bacon to me.
It smelled like a pizza to me.
It's not a bad smell. I'm not I have an aversion to it.
Ashley smelled it today and says, "This smells like beef jerky."
Yeah. Bacon, chicken. Kind of yummy. Okay.
That was
So,
the one with beta carotene, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So remember, Dr. Hill was talking about the cannabinoids and talking about all the benefits of different cannabinoids and he's talking about, you know, sometimes cannabinoids can come from, you know, cannabis and stuff, but they different forms of cannabinoids in nature have different benefits and stuff. And this beta carotene cannabinoid has all the best features of it, and that's what's found in copaiba.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a pretty strong oil. It had like lots of different things it helped with.
Yeah, and it's a blend of four
oil.
copaibas.
4 different species.
Yeah.
So it's an antioxidant.
Mm-hmm.
Helps
Liver, yeah.
cardiovascular health.
Digestive, and the neurological stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was really lucky. I got the opportunity to offer to give an aroma touch massage to a lady that was traveling with us that had MS, and I subbed out a couple of the oils and I used the copaiba on her, and she said it was like the most amazing massage she'd ever gotten. It was very modified since I didn't have a massage table or anything. I just did it on a hotel bed, and she fell asleep during the last part of it. But I used that oil and a couple of the other new oils, the Siberian fir, because of the particular issues that she had, and it went really, really well with those.
Awesome. Dr. Hill said it's one of those oils that he would add to his daily regimen. It's such an important oil. All right, moving on. Siberian fir. So they are going to discontinue the white fir, and they're going to carry the Siberian fir instead. And the Siberian fir has more bang, but it smells very similar to white fir. At first, I thought I would miss it, but now it's, you know, it's replaced it. What do you guys think?
I've used it a few times since I've gotten it, and I really like it. I cannot tell the difference between that and the white fir, honestly, because I was afraid of losing the white fir because I use it often. So I looked and it was already not available. So I was like, well, I guess I better get friendly with it. So I tried it, and I really do. I don't really see a lessening. I see that it is a little bit better, though. I have noticed that it slightly helped better.
There's a little bit of a lemony hint to it, more so than the white fir, but otherwise, Dr. Hill says it has a stronger chemical.
Stacey, what have you used it for?
I use it for my neck, and I used it for generational healing. I used it for tension and a few things. So.
Your migraines, right, Stacey?
That's what you used the white fir for.
Yeah.
Since you've had the Siberian for, what have you used it for?
The same thing.
Same thing.
I used it. My neck was like aching and everything since, I guess, because of the stress and the worry of not going back home. So I just used it all along the back of my neck where it was tight, and it worked just like the white fir, but I could tell that it was a little bit, I didn't have to use it as often. So somehow it's a little bit stronger, and it was, but I liked it, and I smelled it, and I could feel the release like coming already of the tension. So yeah, I used it yesterday, the day before, when the storm was really in Florida, and then it was in my area all last night until this morning. So yeah, I used it and I liked it a lot.
So you guys, Stacey wasn't able to go home because she lives in Atlanta. So she's still in Salt Lake, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So even though it says Mike Gregory, that's because it's my friend, and I'm at his house still. Him and his wife have kept me until Friday, so yeah.
Because there's no flight in. Yeah. All right, guys, that's Siberian fir. We can tell you a lot more, but we're excited. We've got so much to tell you. Neroli touch. All right, we have that. Rose touch. Jasmine touch. So you can buy jasmine and rose now, everyone.
They've had neroli in blends before, but this is the first time we have neroli single.
Yes.
But it only comes in a touch.
So all these oils are floral. Oils great for feeling calm and relaxed, and
great for the skin.
Pardon?
I was saying they're great for the skin.
They're great for the skin. Beautiful. Actually, my Emily started using it on her face, and she's like, "Mom, feel my face." Well, you can use it. Dr. Hill said that it's an aphrodisiac. An aphrodisiac. So that's good. Alrighty.
Is the rose and jasmine, are they diluted at all, or are they pure?
They're diluted.
All three of those.
Yeah.
I thought so.
But in fact, it's better diluted because it stays on the skin longer, and it actually gets absorbed better. Yeah, cool. They showed us some research that it does a better job, because otherwise it flashes off too quickly and we lose the benefits of it. So it's perfectly blended. So, and it's perfectly yummy because jasmine is very strong. It's very thick, syrup-like. If you buy it just in its 100% form. It's actually an absolute, not necessarily an essential oil, but when they dilute it, it's perfect.
The touch blends are designed for topical application, but they talked about also the other like aromatic applications as well. So it's not really something you can take out of the. I guess you could take it out of the bottle and put it in a diffuser, but more designed to.
It's so yummy.
Use in a topically.
Okay, so we're excited to share with you the On Guard hand sanitizer mist. They've done lots of research, and they say that it helps kill 99.9% of pathogens. And there you go, a very safe and natural way of killing bugs on your hands. It has alcohol in it, and it kind of flushes off, and then the oil stays on your skin. And they have some ingredients in there that help your skin stay soft too.
Moisturize.
So not drying like hand sanitizers. So we are going to get 6 of these for our family.
Each of the kids. Yeah, they've already asked for it.
Yeah, and we'll have one for each
Previous
of us.
to this, we just make our own.
Okay.
Turn a essential oil bottle into a spray.
Yeah. Okay. We have birch, and that's a special gift for people that attend convention.
And they've had that last few years.
And that's awesome.
That's how you get birch at a convention.
Enough. But this is really exciting. This cute little box. Okay.
Yoga collection.
The yoga collection, and each of these they smell amazing. So we have anchor, a line, and a rise. If you know anybody that is a yoga instructor, then this is a wonderful way of introducing them to essential oils. Okay, so beautiful. Okay, so that's all the new products, guys. But we have so much more. You want to start sharing the other things? Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So those are all the products, and you can purchase these on. They said October 2nd. I don't know why not October 1st, but they said October 2nd, 2017. So they won't be available through September, but in October, everybody can purchase them. If you did miss out on attending convention, they do have post-convention tours, and actually, let's go there now. So I've got the link here on jadebaldwin.com/events, so you can get straight to that, or you can go to the doTERRA website under advocates, and they have events there, and it's just the fall tour. So that's what these are. So these are areas where different cities in the Pacific, Mountain Region, Central Region, Eastern Region, Canada, Spanish, and in the past I've seen them do it in other countries as well. So just find the city that's closest to you. You can click on these links, it takes you to Eventbrite. Just register for it. The registration is free. And you can look at whoever's speaking there. There's Corey Lindley speaking at that tour. And you can also download a flyer for everybody. Like if you're in one of those tour cities, you want to introduce people, they've got a flyer for each of those events.
Just print it out and share it with your friends.
Yep.
So Ben and I found one that's kind of close to us, and we were looking at all the ones that are close, and we wanted to go to Atlanta because that's the one with Dr. Hill.
Yeah, at the convention they gave us the list of all of them, so we were going through and saying, oh, we're this close to that one, so many hours away from this one, so many hours away from this one. We found one that's kind of close to us.
It's not the closest, but it was Dr. Hill, so we wanted to go to that one.
So just so you know, these events are usually in the evenings, like we had this one here that we clicked on in Monterey, California, 7 to 9 p.m. in that area. There's the address and everything, so you can see if it's close to you. You do, it is free. Did I already say that? Mm-hmm. You do have to, there's usually a convention kit available at those things. It's not the same convention kit. It won't have birch in it.
In the past, they haven't given birch with the convention.
Yeah.
In the tours.
I'm pretty sure they said that.
You will still get a good deal.
Yeah, you can get a good deal, and this is the best way to buy these. This is like $150 off post-convention kit. I forget exactly
Yeah.
the amount, but wonderful way to get your hands on all the new products. So that's the post-convention tour. You can watch it online, and we're going to show this is the first time that they've made this available to watch online and you just click on that link there. You can get access. It's $49 and you can watch on demand until September 24th. So if you missed it, if you did go, you wanted to hear something again, you can get on there, and we're going to show some things a little bit later on that.
Guys, it's so worth it. Ben and I are watching it over again because it's not just the science. They announce like doTERRA clinics. So if you want a doTERRA clinic near you, they explain what is involved. Holy moly, that's like a big deal. I mean, they're changing the face of healthcare. They talked, who was it? This one guy talked about how his son got very hurt and he was overseas, and the healthcare system was amazing. They did all of these things, and he's thinking, okay, he's going to have to sell his house to pay this medical bill. And the guy, the bill was only like 1,000 something. He's like, no, what do I owe? And that's all he owed. And he said, whoa, how come it's just that much? Because they've got healthcare down. So in the US, they wanted to carry that over to the US and help the US change that healthcare system.
Just healthcare is 3 times more expensive here, and we get 3 times less
service.
30%.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about. So the first day was basically products and everything, and the second day was all about science. And the third day they talked a lot about the different healing hands and stuff. So just some of the announcements they've made. So doTERRA, they are expanding their campus, doubling it. They have manufacturing facilities doubling, office space doubling, and they're including a medical center. They'll have medical doctors come in, treat people, look at their nutrition, and using essential oils into treating their health and wellness. They've got new business materials, Empowered Success. So all those materials that we use for Share Success, I've printed out some mini booklets here. I just put them off half page. But there's and you can download them, or you can purchase them. I think they're like 50 cents or
this
something
makes your
ridiculously
business
cheap.
so much easier.
Yeah. So they're just like the Share Success stuff. doTERRA's taken it over, and they're simplifying it. So we're going to be using those as well. They've also got they've had Empowered Life for a while, where you can go in and listen every week. There's a new series, and they talk about a specific wellness section, and empower you some of the motivational stuff they're including there.
So we can go to doTERRA.com and show them where to get this. How about that?
Okay, sure. Let's see. So these are found on doTERRA.com. If you go under Advocates and look on doTERRA tools, brochures. Oh, sorry. Let's see.
I found it this afternoon under
Liars. No, I know where it is.
Cindy,
Yeah.
can you toss me down my wallet? It's on the sink.
Okay. So Empowered Success. There you can click on one of those. You can download them. You can add them to your LRP order. So buy 20 there. It's $10 for 20. That's like 50 cents for those.
It's really cheap.
Yep. So they have the Live, Share, Build, the Launch, and these other twos are coming. The Natural Solutions, that's the introductory class. Download that, and it also comes in the Class in the Box kit, which is coming soon. So that's how you can get those, download them or whatever. Okay. Another thing that doTERRA announced was healthcare centers. doTERRA's looked at the healthcare system where costs are going up and we're getting less from healthcare, and doTERRA is now going to establish healthcare centers throughout the U.S. for two reasons. One, to collect data. So, the more evidence they have of the power of essential oils, the more they're able to get it out mainstream, and it'll be adopted by scientists and healthcare professionals. Just getting over the data hump and the research and everything. So they're going to be building one on doTERRA campus there, and then they're going to build another one somewhere in the U.S. And you can actually click on this link, healthcare.doterra.com. You can register here and tell them that you want a healthcare clinic in your neighborhood.
So it's sort of like voting.
Yep. So the more interest they have in one area, that's how they're gonna use that information to help them decide where they're gonna put the second or the first outside doTERRA campus healthcare center. And they're partnering with a company that is in the business. So doTERRA is not really in the business of building healthcare centers. They've got a partner that they're going to combine forces with to build these centers all over the U.S. and also create partner facilities so they don't own and manage. They also talked a lot about the co-impact sourcing and the healing hands. So those are and they've got lots of announcements in there. Can't really go over the whole thing.
It's so exciting. Yeah. So you want to share with them the convention online?
Yep. So if once you get the this is the before we share with them, I just want to tell you guys doTERRA Convention 2018 is next year, September 19th through the 22nd. Same venues, and you can if you register right now, it's $125 per ticket. Now, let me tell you, that $125, that gets you a lot of stuff. That gets you, you can get in there, you can buy a kit, you can participate, you get all the information and everything. So
get a backpack.
That's a really great price for that. So
yeah, and guys, this is going to sell out very quickly. So I don't know if that's going to be open for too long. So if you can get it now. And if you decide you don't want to go anymore, you can always sell it because there's always going to be someone who wants your ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, so secure it and just put it out there that you're going to come to convention next year.
So zero risk.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the live. If you do go ahead and this live, it's $49. And you can go and watch. There's the gala. There's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All the videos. And Jade wanted to show us something from here, or just show them this.
Well, I wanted to show you all that. It's just so many funny things. And I don't know, you guys, what was really special? What touched you?
For those of you who attended, what did you like about?
I was actually describing this to somebody earlier today, and I was telling her, she's somebody that I've been slowly kind of introducing oils to a little bit more at a time, and we're both very spiritual people in our respective religions, and I was talking to her about the people that we met, the founders, the leaders of the company, and I said that they, were all so spiritual and they were all so real that for me made it that more special and that more easy for me to support and want to help build the business, not just for myself, but for the company at large, because of the amazing work that they do, especially through, their co-impact sourcing and their Healing Hands Foundation and what they do with the, was it OUR, and just to have them get up on stage and tell you, personal things from their life. Like I remember on the last day of the convention, Emily Wright was the last one to get up and close out the speech, and have her get up and talk about how she had those feelings last year at convention where she was supposed to be getting ready to go on stage and she was in her hotel room curled up in the fetal position, just crying. And I thought, wow, I'm not like the only person that feels unworthy sometimes, or feels that I'm not enough. Like, here's this amazing, beautiful woman who's incredibly successful, and the adversary gives her the exact same feelings as she gives to normal little me. You know what I mean? And that touched my heart, and it will probably stay with me for the rest of my life, wherever it takes me, to know that she's just a normal person like me and that she cares about others. I love that about this company. They don't just care about their advocates, they care about the general public at large. They would just want to help people. And I love that they're opening integrative medical clinics. I mean, the whole time I told my husband, I said, I got back. I said, in the last 4 days, I have cried more than in the last 4 months. It's ridiculous. Like, you know, we did the
There was
yoga
a lot
stuff.
of crying.
Just like bawling, tears are just streaming down my face, but they are tears of joy and tears of happiness because finally this is getting out to the world in a more mainstream way. And it's not so, it started grassroots, started small. And, you know, half the reason I didn't used to share this is because I didn't want people to think I was some crazy hippie. That's not who I am. I'm a very conservative person, but now it's more mainstream. And now we're going to take it and share it with the world. And that just lights a fire inside me to want to share it with everybody. You know, on the plane ride home, the first flight we had, I was next to another advocate, but she was new and she didn't know hardly anything. So I just spent 2.5 hours sharing my knowledge with her. And it was like Stacy said, I was like, let's take a picture together and let's exchange phone numbers. And I mean, I would never do that before. And then on my second flight home, I sat next to a dad with 2 kids and he's telling me about his 4-year-old daughter who can't poop. And I'm totally relating because my 2-year-old's been through the same thing. And I said, here, I've got these oils. You just take them. You have any questions, you call me. I will be available day or night. You know, this is going to let her go to the bathroom naturally without you having to give her suppositories and laxatives and all these horrible things that make her cry every day because this little girl cannot have a normal bowel movement. And I just love that I can share that with people and feel good not only about what I'm doing and what I'm sharing, but it uplifts others and it gives them a means of escape. It gives them a way out and to not feel trapped in their situation or their body or their spirit or whatever it was. So like for me, this convention was really life-changing and I will never miss another one again. You know, that's how I feel about it.
That's awesome. Stacey, you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what, of course, the same things Marissa was saying. We sat next to each other the whole time and was like crying. I'm like, can you believe this? Can you believe that? And, you know, the co-impact sourcing, when you're seeing all the videos of them actually there, it just hits you differently. And seeing what they're doing for girls and not knowing that, you know, in other countries, not only do they not have the sanitary things for young girls or, you know, just women, but how they treat them and how they make them feel that, you know, they're contagious, there's something wrong with them, they hide them, they starve them for days. And, you know, that was unbelievable. And how many kits we put together and broke the world record and, you know, that. And then, you know, what they're doing for the sex traffic things. And there's like 3 organizations that they work with on that. And one was a dog that sniffs like the little storage things, like you wouldn't even find. Yeah. And then, you know, and then hearing the leaders and the owners, the CEOs, how much they actually care, how much they spent teaching us and telling us about the new oils. And the new oils, like 3 of them were something that my daughter was like praying for. And then I was like, they're in the kits, wait till I get home, you know. And just, you know, the research that went into it, just releasing each oil, how much studies they did and how they, you know, had all these graphs and these charts and they're showing us, well, this one's better. Yes, we're getting rid of white fur, but here's why. And, you know, everybody's talking about the cannabis oil, but this is so much better. And look at the chart and you see why we're choosing this and we researched it. And this is the best of the best. And it's not going to do these negative things, but it's going to do all these positive things. And it's like, you're learning so much that, you know, it's not just you can help so many other people. And then their personal stories and the motivational speakers that they have, you know, teaching about meditation and their life journey. And, you know, you're meeting other people and everywhere you turn, there's other people, whether they're barely new, like one of the girls that stayed with us. And, you know, I was like, you have MS? It's okay. You know, check with your upline because she's not in our group and they probably have a thing. If not, get back with us. We'll show you the protocol. Like you, and she's like, what? I didn't know that. So I'm showing her in the Modern Essentials book and explaining it to her. She's like, this is great, you know, and just sharing with people and just seeing like the same way that we feel about us healing and us healing our homes is the same way that they feel and how much we want to help other people experience the same things that we have is the same way that the founders feel. That, you know, like Marissa said, it's not just about them and money and growing. It's about the heart of it where we're helping people that are struggling and looking for answers. And then because of that is why they built these clinics where it's going to be available to everyone and the research is there and they're going to have doctors of all the current modern medicine and, you know, ENT and chiropractor and all this stuff, but then they're going to combine it with the essential oils. And not only that, but they're going to say, well, we can give you a sample. Go and find a doTERRA advocate. You know, like they still think of us and all of this growth and how we can use it to share. And they're helping us to share with all the empowered success stuff that we can use to know what to do to grow and get where we want to go. So they're like helping us physically, emotionally, mentally, and grow our business to be, you know, holding our hand as much as they can with all of the stuff that they got from the diamonds that know how to do it. They're like, we don't know, but y'all, they have each diamond stand up, showing who helped them to develop this. And it's just, you know, they really listen to us and they take it and they go forward with it for their whole company. So like, yeah, just the getting to know them, you felt like you knew Emily Wright. You felt like you know, got to know the panels where they joked and how close they worked together, and, you know, how they each stay in their little area, but they talk about it. And, you know, just they're joking and they're picking, but they've done this for years trying to grow to be how they are now. And it's going to go so much more with the growth that's happening and what's going to happen after this healthcare stuff is released. So yeah, it's just a lot. Sorry, I've talked a lot, but it was a lot.
That's fantastic. That was a really great recap, actually. Fantastic, Stacey. The guy that sat next to Ben on the plane, it was his first time because his wife was very depressed for the longest time. She'd lost her business and she got into something that she finally was excited about. And he's like, well, I'll come along and see what, you know, all this is about. And he just raved and raved. And he's like, okay, I know you guys know all this stuff, but he just kept on going and going the whole 2 hours. And then he's like, I've never seen a company with this integrity. She's like, it doesn't exist anymore, but here's doTERRA, and just totally blew him away. And he's like, I'm just on board, I'm full on. And, you know, it converted him. So I can't stress it enough. This is
how that doctor, how he said that he wasn't going to work with any company unless they had the quality, unless they took care of the planters and the farmers, the harvesting. And he said, like, no other company. And then he was like, are you going to do that? And then he saw how doTERRA was actually doing it and said, okay, I'll come on board. But he was like, they need to have these things before I'm going to work with you. And they're like, yeah, we do that. He's like, show it to me. And then he's like, whoa, okay, all right, I'm on board. You know, that was like him just saying, I've been looking for this, and doTERRA has it. You know?
Yeah,
What's best about that doctor is that he doesn't even use essential oils. He just loves
Plants
the
of his
plant.
friend.
And he wanted to make sure that we were taking care of the plants and the habitat and the nature. And that is what I liked about him, because it was about integrity. It wasn't about the oils. We know the oils work, but it was about integrity, and that's what doTERRA has.
Mm-hmm. Well, I spent yesterday, you know, holding and cuddling the kids, and we watched, instead of watching TV, we watched the convention over, and I just kind of fast forward, highlighted all these things, and they loved the co-impacting things, and they're like, we want to help with the schools, we want to help with the health, and all these wonderful things like the Days for Girls. In Australia, we had a Days for Girls Day where we had about 50 people come together and sew like a sweatshop. It was great. And then, you know, we just watched Rob, you know, Young, and they have a wonderful balance of science and information, and then there's some funny things. And here's Rob Young, you know, doing his funny, silly things, going out in the streets with his disguise and asking people, what's doTERRA? What's that about? And they're telling him, and my kids are laughing because of the answers. And then, oh, it's just funny. And so it's just, what a funny, it's entertaining, it's educational. What a week. What a week. Anyone else want to share you take home?
I just was going to say, I really love the data that presented from a scientific standpoint, the data that they've started to compile, because when I joined, there really wasn't that much data available, not in the U.S. They've had stuff in the European Union. A lot of the European countries had started doing stuff with oils years ago, but the nurse from Vanderbilt who got up and talked, and then there was the mental health counselor, which for me was huge with my history with depression and anxiety, being told, hey, you're bipolar, no, you've got this, no, you've got that. It was huge for me to hear her data that she'd been compiling just among colleagues, and then to hear the nurse talking about how it wasn't only going to help the service care providers, but also the patients and patient outcomes. And that was just, I love that. I've got a mom that's a nurse and a dad, or a brother that's a doctor. And, you know, I feel like I do a lot of, you know, not licensed therapy myself, just with friends and people that I come into contact with. And it's amazing. You can see the look on people's faces when they smell an oil, and that serotonin, that epinephrine, it really does change their brain chemistry. You know, I've been trying to explain that to a friend of mine. He says, well, you know, because I told him, I said, you know, what I use for my own personal antidepressant is I'll do wild orange and peppermint together. I didn't tell him about Melissa because that would have freaked him out. But I said, that's what I will just breathe it in, and it will just immediately calm me down, and I will just feel good. And he said, you know, I did it and it felt good, and then it went away. And I said, well, how often did you do it? Or how often do you do it? He said, I just did it the one time. And I was like, well, if your psychiatrist prescribed you medications, would you just take it the one time, or would you keep taking it? And so then I get to explain to him how your body metabolizes the oils and uses them. You have to reapply every so many hours. And then he was like, bing, it's like this light goes off in his head. And he's like, that makes so much sense. I was like, I know, that's why I told you to do it that way. So it's just amazing to see that with consistent usage, you'll get consistent results.
Excellent. Anyone else want to share what they took home from convention? I know you want to.
I'll share.
Yay.
I mean, I appreciate everybody's feedback because it was an incredible convention. And I've had so much fun today talking with my team leaders and going through their take homes from convention, and it was just really fun. But I loved the integrative medicine. As a nurse, you know what? People are looking for natural solutions. And my dream goal, if money were not ever an issue for me, and I hope to get there one day, would bring in a birth center with all these integrative care practitioners. So if it's time to get labor going, she goes down for her massage and her labor acupressure with the clary sage. I mean, we adjust her hips during labor, during the actual birthing process, so she's got plenty of room and she's not in discomfort. And, you know, that would be ideal. And doTERRA is setting that model out, and to actually do their own internal study to take a look at their demographics of employees, almost 2,500 employees across the world, and what they spend on insurance and medical care for these employees to be less than half of an equal, similar demographic. I mean, I laughed and laughed when whoever was presenting, who was it? I can't remember now. Corey Lindley. I laughed and laughed when Corey said, you know, our biggest expense is babies and childbirth. Our biggest expense. And we're not having hospitalizations and ER visits very often outside of that realm. And so if our employees would just stop having babies, we wouldn't have any cost per employee. I mean, I just laughed and laughed when he said that, but we're not going to stop having babies, right? And especially but it was just really fun to see the difference in cost, comparative demographics, and to have them say, we know we can make a difference. And you and I know that too. And so we're out to get these products into every home because we know we can make a difference. The products are simple to use. They're safe. They're effective. I haven't had to reach for anything for more than 7 years outside of doTERRA, period. You will not find a medication in my home, period. I've got what I need at my fingertips, and I love having what I need at my fingertips, and it's so empowering. It brings so much peace and lessens the worry and the fear. And so I love what they're doing, that we can make a difference. And I seriously want to get to President Trump and say, hey, I want an audience. I want an audience. We can change healthcare, and we've got to bring this multi-trillion-dollar deficit down in this country. And healthcare is the largest part. And when we take a look at the gross domestic product, with what we spend on healthcare in the U.S. alone, we can make a difference. And it's not just the U.S. We can make a difference throughout the world by helping people learn to reach for what God intended. And I love that integrative care. I love the model. And you know what? The only disappointment I had in that whole presentation was we're going to start first with the employees. And then if we have extra availability, we'll include the wellness advocates. And then if there's extra, we'll go to the community at large. But you know what? That was the only disappointment was, oh, I want to come now. And my husband turned to me and said, man, I want to have a place for a pharmacist. And you know what? And then I had to elbow him when they said, we're gonna give samples of what oils they need, and then we're gonna send them on to the wellness advocates to take care of them. And then I'm like, I don't know if you can be a wellness advocate and a pharmacist at the clinic. So we might have to rethink that. But you know, that was the only, it's like, oh man, I want to come now. Open it up to everybody. But we, you know, obviously it's going to be a pretty small medical center overall. it's come.
That's great.
So I love the hope of changing medicine for well care instead of sick care.
That's excellent. And Debbie mentioned that doTERRA, they take care of their employees. So they have a center for childcare. So you can, people that are working there can bring their kids, at least 100 kids, right? That's what they said, 100 kids. They have a place to eat, they have a place for the kids, they have a gym. I mean, it's a great place. If you want to be employed by doTERRA, it's a great place to work. So it's just every angle you look at it, you think this is so inspired and it's so good. Yeah.
You know what was amazing too is when they were talking about the healthcare, I think people will be shocked because everybody's so upset about the cost and insurance costs. But they actually gave charts with like, this is how much the average people or the average company spends per year. This is how much doTERRA spent per year. This is how much the labs and all cost. This is how few it was. It was like 2.2% of what the national average, would be for those places. And it was like a fourth. It was just crazy. They said per employee for pharmacy per year was $2,430. And for like the doTERRA, it was $618 per year. Like amazing. And then they had like, that for different things. They showed for just regular doctor visits and all. It went from $8,598 a year down to $3,982. They were just like had these numbers that were like, these are the people using oils. Like this is how much healthcare you save, and like you can't deny it. And they're like, this is how you would reduce the cost of healthcare because you're not going as often. And it was like, wow. Like when people see that, they're gonna go like, okay, well I want to save money too, and let me start doing this to help my health, because it's gonna save me in the long run. If I start doing this stuff and taking care of my gut, taking care, once they start learning, I mean, people are just going to be amazed by the demographics and the numbers that they have just to show like, yeah, this is working and this helps and all of that. Like even business people will go like, oh, you can't turn your eye away from like, the facts. It's just amazing that the studies showed that much difference in all these areas,
That's
Can I share something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the doctors panel because among them, they admittedly said they're not educated on nutrition and they're not educated on alternative medicine. And I love the part where they said, just keep sharing with your doctors. Keep telling them what you're doing. Keep telling them about the progress and what the oils are doing for you. And it's just because they don't know and because they think they know. A lot of them, maybe some of them are open to it, but a lot of them think that they know everything because they've been through school for so long, but they only know what they know. You know what I mean? So it's our responsibility to share with them how the oils have helped each of our family members and friends.
I was gonna say along that line, I was listening to these doctors and nurses and PhDs and all these medical professionals, and I sent a text to my brother that's an obstetrician, an OBGYN, and that's his job. He brings babies into the world, And I remember when I first got pregnant, I started using the oils. That was when I found out, was when I was pregnant with my first baby. And I got really into it really fast because I knew that this is the plan that the Lord had for me. This was the way I was going to change my health. And, I told him about it, and he's open to his patients using oils and stuff, but he doesn't really promote it. And I think he just thinks it's kind of like a cute hippie thing. And so I texted him when I was sitting there in that conference room with 15,000 other people, which, by the way, for me was really difficult. I don't do crowds. And to sit that closely with thousands of people, I had lots of oils on. But I texted my brother and I said, I wish that you could be here right now with me. I wish that you could feel the positive energy and the spirit, because the spirit is so strong here. And I told him about this integrative medical clinic, and I said, I really want to talk to you some more about this. And so that's going to be one of my big hurdles. Is I actually started with his wife already, because she runs their household. Like a lot of our houses are run by a lady. And so I, introduced it to her. I actually gave her daughter oils for her birthday last month, and I'm just kind of like inch by inch getting oils more and more in their home. Every time I come, we bring a diffuser with us and we set it up in the room we sleep in, and their kids are super into it. But I think once I can get the mama bear on board, Papa Bear will follow right behind. But he's a partner in his own clinic, and so he could be huge and changing the lives of just thousands of people. And I feel like that's going to happen. That's a part of my future, is helping him to do that. And another thing that I really loved about convention was that they are, for the first time, doing the business training. I got to take part in that business training on Wednesday, on the first day, where they would do the Empower You series, which was amazing and fantastic and so helpful. And knowing that they are uniform, making everything uniform around the world, much like they do in our church. It just made sense to me, like, oh, now everybody will have access to the same documents, the same papers, and everybody can share like in the same way and make it even, so I can learn from somebody here in the US, or I can get it from somebody, in Korea or France or wherever, and get the same information and have the same data available to everybody, which I love.
Oh, that's fantastic. So just so you guys know that we have a plan to invite Dr. Jorgensen, who is part of the doTERRA panel, and they said that they can invite their friends, Dr. Winterton and the other guys, to be on our calls. So look forward to that. I have to work out a time for them. But they owe me some things too. We're going to do some swapsies. So anyways, if you can, invite your brother to that, invite your friends that are medical professionals into that, because they need to hear it from these guys. So we're going to do that. I plan to have a day where we have nurses. So Debbie Gordon, you're going to be lined up in there too. I met a couple of people as we were getting on the plane and just talking to people and how they're so excited to start introducing it to their friends. And it's just, they feel like it's a calling. So we're going to get all the nurses in. So if you've got nursing friends, they need to come and hear from the other nurses, because, you can tell them what you want, but they have to hear from their colleagues, right? So we're going to get people lined up that way. And it's going to be really exciting, because we want to change the world. So we want to come up with ways for people to connect and to learn from each other. Okay, awesome. Anyone else want to share? It's just so fantastic. I had my kids watch it with me, bits and pieces, and they just were so inspired. Even the last day, the guy that talked about strengthening your strengths, and don't worry so much about your weakness. Fix it as you go, but strengthen your strength. What do you have to offer the world? Do more of that. And I love that. It was so easy to do that, because I think, I already know how to do that. I'll just do more of it. Yeah. Is that what you took home?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyone else want to share today? So I shared the link for the online ticket with several friends, my sister and another friend in Queensland, and a whole bunch of people in, I think, Albury. And I had a text back, and they bought the convention ticket for next year, and one lady said, oh, my heart is so full, my cup runneth over. And I thought that is a really good way of describing how you feel. And one lady, she's actually on a cruise, and they were getting really close to land. So she's like, I've got internet now. And then she texted me, she's like, I'm through with the first day. And oh boy, she said, tears, tears, tears. So you guys, if you can, please get on and watch it. And just, for some of us here, we're going to rewatch it and get as much out of it as we can. So,
can I share something real quick? So when I registered, the same day they announced you could register, there were still over 14,000 spots left in Track A. And I just registered my husband about 5 minutes ago, and they were down to 4,000.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
10,000 people have already registered for Track A. It's going to sell out super fast.
So we're in Track A if you want to hang with us.
Yeah. Your speaker's off, Debbie.
I'm sorry, I missed you. My son was talking to me. What did you say?
I thought you were talking to us. I saw your mouth moving.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, Marissa was saying that it was running out. I mean, it was selling out.
Yeah, when I registered Sunday, I could not get on Saturday for whatever reason. It was all busy or whatever reason, and they were down to 8,500. So from Sunday to now, 4,000. Yeah, they're going to go fast. You know what? They did say that they were only going to be up for a short time, and nobody remembers what that short time was because we all grabbed our phones to log in and get that ticket. And it's just amazing to me that nobody can answer that question because they did say that it would be a short time, and they gave us a timeline, and I don't remember what it was. But
doesn't say.
No, we don't know. Just got our tickets that day. But hurry in and get it, guys. All right. I think we shared what we needed to share, right?
Anybody have anything else they want to say about the convention, the new products?
Can I share something that's not about new products? I was going to say I was describing my experience to somebody else today, and I said that when Jade told me to do this back in February or March, whenever it was, that it was like freaking out about the cost of it and the expense and all of these things. And I've worked through money blocks and stuff with her since, but I was telling my friend about, I loved the data and I loved the research and the information and knowledge we gathered. But I said the most important thing that I took from convention was the new friendships that I said it's like networking with heart, because everybody's on the same wavelength, the same page, and all working towards the same goal. But I made friendships over the last week that will last me the rest of forever. I've already had people like texting me, like, see, how am I doing, and this and that, and message and Facebook, message and text on the phone. And it's just been amazing for me to make these connections with people that I would never have met. People from Washington and Oregon and just Arizona, like all over the country, places I've never been. And we're all like planning on trying to visit each other and like come visit each other's states and get to know each other better. And most of us weren't even on the same teams, but we just loved each other. It was beautiful.
Yeah. It was an answer to my prayers to meet people there, because I was wondering about China and how we could help our teammates in China. So that's been something that was on my heart for a while. And I thought of that. And, that very day, I was standing right next to a lady who happened to be a diamond from China. And it was just the thought, and turned around and here she is. And now we're so close already, even though we just barely met. And I thought, that's why we're here. That is why we're here. And we feel the same, and we have the same desires. And so she's like, I can help. And, she's all about adoption for children in China. And I'm all, that's me. You speak my language. And then she needed somebody for Vietnam who could speak Vietnamese, and hello, that's me. And so we needed each other, and we just happened to meet. So you never know. There's just so much happening. It's not just what doTERRA provides. It's the camaraderie and just the spirit and the atmosphere. You feel stronger because you've had all these people edify you. You can come back and feel like you're just one, but you're part of a big thing, and everyone wants to do their part as part of that big thing. And the beautiful thing is that doTERRA teaches us that we keep commitments because they keep their commitments. Last year they promised some things, and this year they delivered, right? And the one guy on the plane, he was like mind-boggled. He says, "Wow, that's just never seen that before. They delivered, but they delivered more, and then they promised something else that they're going to do next year." And here we are feeling
reported on their promises.
They reported back, and we know we're so confident that they're going to get there, and we look forward to that report when we come back. Yeah. Alrighty.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Anybody have any last words to say? I thought it was a fantastic convention. Next year will be even more fantastic. They always tend to make it better and better. So,
to the gala, the one thing I would say, you get the special oil only at the gala, and everybody should do that. I couldn't get the ticket yet. I was looking all over. I was like, "Where's my gala ticket? It's not out yet."
I'm looking at it now, and it says, for the track A and track B, for track A, there's only 4,636. For track B, there's only 9,887 left.
Yeah, so they're already over half booked.
So for everybody who's listening to this podcast, get on there. And the link's right here. I don't know where else you can get the link. It's not on doTERRA's site, so.
Yeah, so go to my website, jadebolden.com, go to events, and then go to corporate events.
And just scroll down until you see corporate events, doTERRA Convention 2007.
All that info is on here.
Take care, yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you for being on our call and adding to the spirit. We'll stop the recording now.